Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. I'm Michael Chabot, and I'm here to tell you that there will always be challenges in life, and in some cases, like mine, tragedies. But human beings are resilient. All you need to do is make a decision today. Follow me on this journey to hope, and together we will live, we will learn, and we will grow. And hopefully, we will find some hope in every day. Welcome to my journey to hope. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my journey to hope. I am Michael Chabot, and I just want to thank you for listening and thank you for being on this journey with me. You know, lately I've been reading a lot and hearing a lot about fear. You know, being afraid to take chances, being afraid to follow your heart, being afraid to take that leap of faith. And, you know, what I've realized so far on this journey, and, you know, I'm 49. I'm young, but I'm old too, if that makes sense. Got some miles under the hood, but you know, the reality is that we all have fear at some level or another, at some degree or another, and it could be paralyzing for some of us. It can be, I should say, it can be paralyzing for some of us. And what I've learned is that you got to lean on your habits. You got to lean on your routine. You know, it's funny because some days, it's not funny, but, you know, there are days like this morning when my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and it's cold in the house and it's cold and raining outside. And, you know, for California, it's 50 degrees, which for us, that's frigid. And you know, my brain's like, no, not today. I'm tired. I want to stay in bed. I want to stay in this warm, comfortable bed and cuddle next to my wife. But I've made a commitment to myself, a promise to myself to run my morning routine. And so I push myself to get out of bed. And, you know, I've talked about it before. Really great book to read is The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. And it talks about how you count down from 5 to 0 and it triggers your frontal cortex to basically kick in and get rid of all those, you know, thoughts and voices from the brain that say, no, stay in bed. It's warm. It's comfortable. Don't get up. You know, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up. And I talked about it in other episodes, but you can't count from 1 to 5 because the brain knows that there's other numbers beyond that. But from 5 to 0, your brain knows, like, that's it. Get up. And you push yourself. And you lean on those habits and routines. And I've talked about it before, is as you check each one off your list, you build confidence. And you build momentum. And you get going. And by the time my wife and my son come down at 6:30 in the morning, I'm energized. I'm rocking. I'm rolling. I'm feeling good. I'm no longer feeling that that some of us feel on Mondays, right? Or on cold days or tired days. Like last night was a late night for me. I usually like to be asleep by 10 because I get up at 5. I wasn't asleep until 11:30. Got home late from the ice rink from practice. Had some things I had to take care of from work and personal. Some projects I'm working on the side. And hey, you know, still had to read my pages and it was 11:30. So yeah, I was tired this morning. But I leaned on my routine. My routine holds me up. My routine keeps me accountable. And listen, guys, I talk about this all the time. It all starts with a decision to tap into the greatness that's inside of you. It's there for all of us. We just have to choose to go after it. And let me tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy. It is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's consistently working and digging and pushing through the pain. You know, I had the pleasure recently of going to an event with somebody that I look up to. His name is Gerard Adams. He built a company called Elite Daily and sold it at 30 years old for like $50 million. And instead of blowing his money, he invested it. He opened something or started something called the Incubator, where basically he mentored young adults who want to become entrepreneurs, tried to help them, take them off the streets in rough neighborhoods and say, look, there's greatness inside of you. Let me show you how to tap into it, right? It's in all of us. For some reason, as we get older and life beats us down, we forget it's there. We become like robots just going through the motions every day. And I want to talk about something for a minute because I know some people say, well, you say you have a morning routine. Doesn't that become cumbersome? Well, I switch it up. I keep the same things within it, but I switch it up once in a while to make it interesting. So originally, I would get up, have my tea and a piece of toast or something just to kind of give me some energy in the gym, and then I'd go do my workout. And then I would meditate, and then I would journal and take my cold shower and make the bed and all the things that I do. But I've switched it up. So what I do now is as soon as I wake up, I meditate. Before I can get any other thoughts or anything else going in my brain, I meditate to bring everything together for the day. Then I sit in the darkness and I journal with just a little light on my pages so that I can watch the sun come up out the back window. Then I go in the gym. Then I knock it out because now the mind has done its work and now it's time for the body. And I still feed my brain. I listen to a book on Audible or I listen to a great podcast that's about empowerment, and it keeps it real. Then I come in, then I do breakfast, then I do family time. Once they leave, I do things like this, record a podcast episode. Then I make the bed. Then I have my breakfast and it's off to work. And by the time I get in the car, I feel like I've climbed a mountain. I'm like, yes, I'm charged for the day. I'm kind of going all over the place today, but there's been so much going on since I've recorded my last episode. And I want to go back to the event that I went to that was hosted by Gerard Adams. And he calls it, the movement. And he truly is creating a movement. Like I said, I'm 49. I've become a bit of a pessimist when it comes to humanity and society. And I've talked about this before, that after my daughter passed away, the amount of love and support that I got from the community, from my hockey family, from the schools that my children belong to, absolutely overwhelming and amazing. Like, I couldn't believe that people cared about my family so much. And it restored my faith in humanity. And I went to this event, and it was about 35, 40 of us, and we had 3 or 4 live calls, over the internet leading up to the event. I got to tell you guys, it was amazing. Like, I've never been to anything like this before. We instantly bonded. Like, it was like I've known these people forever. A lot of young people in the room, and let me tell you, I was so freaking impressed. People talk about millennials being flighty or lazy. Hell no. My hat is off to you guys. You're smart, you work your asses off, and you're hungry. You're driven. You want to make this world a better place. And I'm somebody that has said, you can't change the world. The world is broken. It's screwed. It's fucked, pardon my language. But what I took, the biggest thing that I took away from that, I learned a lot about business and where I want to go in my life. We did some spiritual work, some amazing breathing work and sound healings and all kinds of cool stuff. But what I really came out of it is like, man, there are some amazing people in this world who have dreams and who aren't afraid to go after them. We're all paralyzed by our fear, stuck in jobs that we hate. Like I talked to somebody on the phone recently, and she was like, oh, I just can't wait to get to Friday. It was Tuesday. And she's like, oh, and then I have Monday off, thank God, but then it's back to work. What kind of fucking existence is that? That's all I could think was, wow, I feel so sorry for her. She's miserable. She's not doing what she loves. She's just there to get a paycheck. She's checked out for 8 or 10 hours a day, every day of her life during the week, only looking forward to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What a miserable existence. And think about it. When Sunday comes, you know what she goes through. Sunday morning, she's like, oh, it's Sunday, cool. Then Sunday afternoon, she's like, shit, I got to go back to work tomorrow. And then the misery starts over again. I know for a fact that God, our Creator, did not put us on this planet for that. She has greatness inside of her. She needs to do the work and look inward instead of outward and figure it out. Find her dream. Go after her passion. It's in all of us, but we just accept whatever's in front of us and say, well, this is my reality. I say bullshit. Challenge yourself. Push yourself. Don't accept what's in front of you. So many people that I know, especially at my age, they feel trapped. They feel stuck. Why? Because they're old and they have mortgages and they have kids in college and they have all kinds of responsibilities. And I get it because I have them too. But my daughter gave me a gift, an awakening that says life is short. You got one shot at this. Today is all you have. You don't have tomorrow. Tomorrow is not a guarantee. The first thing I put in my journal every morning when I get out of bed is, thank you, God, for blessing me with another day to make a difference in the world and to serve you. That's the first thing every day, because I know that every morning when I open my eyes, it's a blessing. It's a gift that I've been given to make a difference. Not to say, oh, God, I got to go to the same job again today. I'm so miserable. I can't wait till Friday. Fuck that. Wake up. If you're miserable, figure out what calls to your heart. We live in a time where there's so much information on the internet, YouTube, in books, everywhere. Figure out what calls to your heart. Start a side hustle. Start figuring it out and turn it into your dream. Stop living in misery. Face those fears. Build some habits and routines and lean on them. I implore you to do this. You only get one shot at it. Don't wait for something in your life to happen like happened to me. Don't wait. Do it. Because one day, God willing, you'll get to the end of your life and you'll say, damn, I wish I would have tried that. Or maybe somebody else had the same dream and they did it and you didn't because you were paralyzed in fear. Well, I say, fuck that. Push through the fear. Push through the pain. You know, I read a book, God, a long time ago that was given to me by my sister. It was called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And that title always stuck with me because what we all know to be true is on the other side of fear is greatness and success if we can just push through it. Think about this. So many people out there listening, you have a fear of public speaking. I used to be afraid of it too. Now I love it. But it's funny because before you do it, you're like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. And your body's shaking and your hand's shaking, your heart races. And then you do it and you feel like this charge of adrenaline. Our brains crave exploration, experience. That's what they crave. Explore and learn and push yourselves. Stop being paralyzed by your fears. And what I've learned is that creating habits and routines that set you up for success help you push through the fear. Meditation's an amazing one. And look, I was a skeptic. I was that person always in my life. Always. And now I am the biggest advocate for meditation ever. Like at the event I went to, we did some breath work. 45 minutes of breath work in a room with almost probably 40 strangers in that room once you had all the staff and everybody that did it. And you had people hugging and crying and just had an experience that I can't even begin to explain. All I know is it was one of the most powerful things I've experienced in my life besides the birth of my children. It was that amazing. And here's what I tell you all. Dig in. Dig in. There's so much beyond conscious living. And when I say that, I mean the stuff that we do every day, driving to work and feeling stuck in dead-end jobs that we hate. You know, I don't care what you do for a living. Just find something you love. I have friends that are teachers and they do it because they absolutely love teaching and helping kids. Could they go do something and make more money? Absolutely. But it's called to them. It's in their heart. That's what it's about. I get that we all need to make money. We need to pay our bills, our mortgages. We need to put food on the table. We have responsibilities. But stop being a zombie. Stop living in misery. It doesn't serve you, and it doesn't serve others. It doesn't serve your family, your children, your creator. That's not why you were put on this planet. Yeah, we're put here to work and thrive and survive. But I know for a fact that my creator doesn't want me to be a miserable prick. And I know I'm using some strong language today, but this is something that I'm really passionate about. Life is meant to be lived. It's not meant to just get through. Because once it's done, guys, it's done. There's no coming back from it. I've talked about this before in different episodes is, you know, I'm a doer. I'm a problem solver. I love to solve problems. And guess what? The one problem I can't solve, I can't bring my daughter back. I can't change what happened no matter what I do. When we're gone, we're gone. Death is final. That's it. And you know, I carry that burden with me every day of my life. And every day I work through it. And every day I connect to the pain. Because I know that I have to walk through the darkness to get to the light. And it's scary. It is scary to sit and breathe and relive that day and that moment and the things that I saw. But I do it because I know it's the only way to live my best life. And I've talked about this before, and I'll say it again. Ed Milet, who I love, I always tell everybody that guy saved my life. And if you're not listening to him, listen to him because he's amazing. Still listen to me, but listen to him too. He talks about, you know, in heaven, there's the perfect version of himself and how he's chasing that person every day. He's chasing to be the best that he can be for his creator so that when his time comes and he gets to heaven, that he says, when he meets that perfect version of himself, that version says, you did pretty damn good, Eddie. And I realize that now. You know, I was talking to somebody yesterday who's young and a hustler and an amazing business person who absolutely blew me away. And I said, you know, it's funny, when you're young, you chase money because you think that's where happiness comes, is through money and success and houses and cars. And yeah, money makes life a lot easier. It does. It gives you freedom of choice to choose what you want to do. But it doesn't give you happiness. It doesn't fill up the hole inside of you. I talk about this all the time. What fills you up is serving others. But before you serve others, you have to serve yourself. You have to. You have got to serve yourself. You've got to go in and do the work. You got to look yourself in the mirror and stop lying to yourself. Be honest with yourself. You have to. And then you got to peel back the layers. And then you got to build the confidence. You got to make the decision. You got to keep the promises. You got to have discipline. And when that happens, you will have an awakening. One day you'll look in the mirror and you'll go, wow. You did it. You kept your promise. You're keeping your promises. You're making a difference. Then you're ready to go out and serve, because you'll serve from the heart. You're not trying to fill up that hole. And we all have holes. I don't care if you came from the absolute best family, TV show type of family where everything was perfect. There's still things in our lives where we got hurt, where we had tragedies, where we had pain that we're not facing. Got to do the work. Mindset, heart set. We've talked about it, right? Health set. These are all Robin Sharma things. Got to do the work. So I know I've been all over the place today, but I've just got all of this great stuff and some really exciting news as my daughter's foundation is almost up and running. I'll announce it here live for the first time. It's Gabriella's Heart Foundation, Inc. And, we want to use her foundation to create awareness for families and parents to understand what viral myocarditis is and sudden cardiac death in children and young adults. We want to raise money for grants, for education, for kids that want to go into college and study medicine, especially cardiac medicine. And we want to raise funds for research to help doctors to be more aware and to test for viral myocarditis so that other families don't have to suffer like mine has. So I'm really excited about that. And all of this is because I just want to honor my daughter. I want to live a life for the rest of my life that makes her proud. And so that when I'm in front of my Creator, I can bow down and say, I served you, Lord. I made a difference. I helped other people. That's what I'm here for, is to help. I want to guide you through the darkness and into the light. So, putting a bow on this, we all face fears, big and small. And what I found is that first and foremost, you got to feel the fear and do it anyway. Push through the fear, but build the habits, build the routines that you can lean on that help you push through. I talked about it in one of my episodes in a book I read called The Alter Ego Effect, and he talks about ground punches. I use ground punches to push through the fear. Boom. Not here, not now. Go away, fear. Do you know who I am? Do you know what I've been through? Do you know what I've accomplished? Do you know that I get up at 5 a.m. every morning and I work out and I journal and I meditate and I finish with an ice cold shower? And on that note, I'll tell you something funny real quick. Is yesterday I was talking to a good friend of mine, somebody who I have the honor of working with. And he wrote an amazing book called Heart Leaders, my buddy Daryl. And his water heater broke, so he had to take a cold shower. And he goes, damn, I can't believe you do that every day willingly. That shit's awful. And I was laughing, and I said, yeah, it's hard. It's definitely not easy. But it's just one of those things that helps you build that resilience to push through fear, right? Because there are days, especially like yesterday and today, where it's cold in the house, and that water is icy, and you're like, oh my God, I got to get in there. And then you push through it. And when you get out, top of the mountain, baby. Top of the mountain. Top of the mountain. So push yourselves. I ask you a favor. Let me know a couple of things. So I'd love to know in the episodes that I've recorded so far, which ones you like best, what resonates with you the most, and what would you like to hear more of? That's number one. Number two, I'd love to hear what fears are holding you back. What things do you want to do and try to achieve, but you're afraid to try? Let's see if we can't help you build some routines and some habits and some resilience to push through it. I just want to thank you all for listening. Thank you all for supporting me. There's so much more to come. There's so much more to do. And if I can help one person through this, then my life is a success. I love you all. And the reason I'm here, the reason I do this is for my baby girl, Gabriella. Thank you, sweetheart, for giving me this gift. Papa loves you so, so much.